Okay.
So we've been talking about Zay, the dog that we've been working with, right? Who was the dog that we did our whole episode on, the like get it under control episode, right?
Yep.
I mentioned in the episode a couple days ago, Zay's crushing it. Right?
Yep.
He's doing so well.
Let's go, Zay.
Right? Let's go, Zay. Right? So one of their big goals, I just saw them the other day, and one of their big goals is they have 4 dogs, right? Zay gets along. He doesn't have any problems with the other dogs, right?
Okay.
But one of their 4 dogs, Chesney, I believe is his name, Chesney doesn't like Zay. Chesney gets along really well with the other dogs. He doesn't like Zay, right? Could be for whatever reason, right? They also said Chesney's a little funny with new people sometimes. Like, he's got some independent issues that we're going to probably be bringing him in for some training next, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But they've never been able to successfully introduce Zay and Chesney before. It just never went well. They said Zay just kind of is curious in him and goes up, and Chesney goes off on Zay, and it's just always been a mess, right?
Yep.
So that was our big goal. Is I was like, well, let's see where we're at. Let's see if we could start to get these dogs introduced together with each other, right? So I was like, I got to meet Chesney first. I got to see what the deal is with him. Why don't you guys bring him out, put a muzzle on him, right? Because they said he's funny with new people. Let him out into the yard, and we'll just kind of see what he does. And anytime in those situations, I hang out there. I don't pay any mind to the dogs. I just want to see how they respond to me, right?
Yep.
So Chesney comes out like a fucking bullet, runs over to me, like leaps full speed on me, jumps on me,
boy.
running around all over the place, barking, goes like leaping all over the owners, long nails scratching at them, just kind of going crazy, right? And right off the rip, right, we talked about this yesterday in our training meeting because we were talking about the fighting dog situation. When you have fighting dogs, you kind of have 2 different categories of fighting dogs, right? You have your fighting dogs that are we'll call like environmental fighting dogs, or where it's like an environmental problem, right? And then you have ones where there's a dog problem, right? Environmental problems generally mean the dogs would be fine with each other, but things that are going on in the dog's environment are causing fights or outbursts to happen. So that could be a lot of the examples we talked about in the other episode where like the dogs are fine with each other 90% of the time, but then when this one starts acting up in this place or this one starts rehearsing this unstable behavior here, the other one wants to kind of check that dog and stuff like that. Those are environmental problems where the issue isn't let's teach these dogs to like each other more. The issue is we have to solve the independent behavioral issues that are happening in the environment that are causing the dogs to get into fights with each other.
Yeah.
Right? The other side is the dogs just don't like each other, which we'll see sometimes where it's like there's nothing happening in the environment and just on site, I don't like you, you don't like me, right? Those ones are usually a little bit more tricky to work through because you have to kind of teach those dogs to like squash their beef more or less, which we've done a whole episode on that also. If you search fighting dogs, we did an episode months and months ago on that topic you guys can listen to. So in this case, maybe it was a little bit of they had a problem with each other because Chesney was relatively good with the other dogs, right? But the majority of the problem was Chesney's behavior was so erratic, right? That he was impulsive because he was insecure. His behavior was erratic. He wanted to like take it out on Zay, right? And then also in addition to that, prior to Zay doing training, his behavior was so out of control that rubbed Chesney the wrong way also. So this is much more of an environmental problem, right? So next thing we did is we put an e-collar on Chesney, right? We let Zay out, and we just kind of assessed the situation, right? And they walked up to each other, a little stiff, a little sniffing. Chesney did a little growling and stuff, but there was like no big problem. They just kind of needed to work through that a little bit. And then periodically, Chesney would go and he would like leap at his owners, jump on me, or go and start fucking with his muzzle like really intensely or let out a bark or something like that. And we just started stopping all that stuff. Don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Right? Got those things under control, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
10 minutes later, they're just chilling together, right? Chesney's over here laying down. Zay's over here laying down. Let me pull out the receipts. I got the receipts.
Make sure you send me these receipts.
Yeah. Here we go. Look at this, right? It's just a picture. It's not a video. But we got their 2 dogs right there. We got Zay chilling right there. We got Chesney just walking around over here, right? Totally
Okay.
neutral. We hung out the entire session just like that, right? And these dogs were fucking fine with each other.
Yeah.
They didn't really want a whole lot to do with each other, probably because they've lived separate for so long at this point, right? But they were fine. There was no problem or anything like that. And I say this because these are generally, when we get into the reasons why, like if we could assess why the dogs are behaving so poorly in the first place, we could get that under control and we can understand that the fights are happening because of that. You could stop those things so fast and get past this problem, right? And then past that, right, I told him, I was like, do this every day for a half an hour a day for the next 3 weeks, right? I was like, you do this every day for a half an hour a day for the next 3 weeks, you're going to find in no time these dogs are going to be perfectly fine with each other, right? We got another case study of a dog we did some virtual training with. I don't know exactly where they live, some other state. They don't live around here. And she had some dogs that got into a fight with each other. Same deal, environmental problem, had a lot of outside behavioral issues and stuff like that we worked on. And just yesterday at 10:07 a.m., she said jokingly, 100 years later, but this is them right now. Sent me all these videos. Look at these two dogs just chilling,
Yeah.
right? Chilling in their crates, hanging out outside in the yard, sniffing each other, like totally, you know what I mean? Like totally fine,
Yeah.
right? And notice in every one of these videos, she's got e-collars on both of them. She's following the directions. Look at this. This is huge.
Hey.
I talk a lot about this, right? This is massive. A lot of people would look at this and they would say, oh my God, two dogs that got in fights with each other, why would you feed them so close to each other? Because you can't avoid problems forever. If we have a resource issue, I need to know I have control over these dogs around the resources. And
Yeah.
this dog needs to know if you go and fuck with this dog while he's eating, it ain't going to be fun for you, and vice versa, right?
Yeah.
And if you could get control over all of this kind of stuff, look at that, with pigs. But she sent me all these videos, right? So cool,
Yeah.
right? It's because she put in the work. She got her dog's behavior the fuck under control. She showed them, hey, guys, you got to listen to me. Right? No more funny business. We're getting this shit under control. And if you do that, you'll get past this stuff. I promise you will. It's just getting past the emotional hurdles. If you just got to do it. You got to be okay. Like, those dogs probably don't love each other right now. That's fine.
Yeah.
They're safe around each other. They respect their owner, right? They respect the owner, which will cause them to respect each other,
Yeah.
right?
For sure.
In any of these cases, right? Whether it's Zay and his little siblings, right? Whether it's these dogs, whether it's any of the other dogs we work with, you just got to get it under control.